When you light up, yeah, lights all over you.
Hey, we back on another Sunday minute Transition Talk Show. How y'all doing today? Today, man, we have two gentlemen that we're going to be interviewing with Project Kings Academy. And we're going to see exactly what they've been doing in the neighborhood, man, and talk with them a little bit. These guys right here, man, hey, let me tell you, they some real spiffy cats, you know what I mean? So I'm just real intrigued to see exactly what we're gonna get into and dive into, man. How we can help these guys and they and what they're doing into the community. Before we get started, man, y'all know I have a trauma course that's gonna be actually launching tomorrow, May the 9th. It's called Transitional Training. The course is actually called Trauma to Triumph. So, man, you guys be looking out for that. We do have a special offer on the class for $9.99 at the moment right now. So, man, again, transitional training. Tomorrow we do the lunch in May the 9th. So then we get back to y'all about that as we continue to go through the week and through the month, and as that thing continues to build up. You know, mental health, man, is something that's real serious, especially in the Black community. So it's something that we really want to be able to tackle, man, and helping our people begin to find a sense of wellness and wholeness for themselves. Like I said again, we got Project King in the house. Let me introduce these guys to you. Man, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you again, man. I'm just real glad to be here. I'm Marcus Turner.
Yeah.
How's it going? I'm James Lehaman. I'm actually the founder of Project Kings Academy.
Man, the last time we talked, you know, you was actually running for a city, a spot in the city. What was it?
Well, the county clerk.
The county clerk, right?
Yeah, so I was running for a countywide position the last time we talked.
Man, how did that even after that experience, man? Tell me how that felt.
Well, I think it felt good. I'm gonna tell you why I say it felt good is because being so I guess new to the game, I felt like the newcomer, and I told people, you know, it would be new, but I wanted to, you know, have a great impact.
Right.
So when I first got on the campaign, you had a lot of people just telling me, "Oh man, I don't know if you should do this." Running against somebody who obviously been in office since I was in high school, 2006, and so and then another person who been at the county 35 years. So I think it was a humbling experience. And judging by the outcome, I think I did pretty well.
Right.
Unfortunately, we were not able to obtain a seat, but that's okay, man. We still had 33,000 people in Dallas County who believed in my message. And with me only being 8 years in at the county, I'm just looking to build on that, you know, and continue to, you know, show myself approved in the streets in the county and in the city of Dallas.
Man, I applaud you, man. You know, like I told you when that time had happened, I really, you know, was wanting to get behind you and everything. And man, have some youth, you know what I mean,
Yes, sir.
into our city, man, because we need change. You know, when you, just like you said, when you have somebody that been in these seats 30 some odd years, you know, and things like that, then quite naturally we begin to understand why we still in some conditions from those times to this time.
Yes.
You know, so there is a time now that change is really needed, and we have to begin to start really testing, you know, the waters ourselves more often and more frequently now.
Yep.
You know, that it won't look as though, you know, we're not accustomed to seeing ourselves now and try to make these changes and run for these seats
Yes.
and things like that to help change the city of Dallas, you know, and especially in urban America
Yes,
and in
sir.
urban life in the city of Dallas. Man, Jay, tell me something a little bit, you know, about Project King, man.
Definitely, most definitely. Man, Project Kings Academy, we're actually going into our 5th year of existence. This last year has been probably one of the most lucrative years for us. We just got our 501c3 this past August, so shout out to the man above for that. It's been a long time coming, but we finally solidified that. But it's basically a young Black male mentorship program.
Yeah.
I'm a native of Greenwood, Mississippi, man. I grew up in a time where we had mentors, our fathers and coaches and things like that, but we had mentors that taught us the game.
Right,
We knew the
right.
streets. I'm from
Right.
Greenwood, Mississippi. We knew the game, but we didn't know the business.
Right.
We didn't know about going to school. All we knew was mama said graduate,
Right. Right.
get a job, get a wife, have kids. I wanted to change that narrative for young African American males coming up in those small towns like Greenwood, Mississippi, man. I've been in Mississippi my whole life, been in Dallas 5 years now, and it was still a culture shock. Moving here at 28, I had never lived outside of Mississippi. So my goal is to reach back and to help those young brothers like Marcus who grew up in Dallas, to let him know, hey, it's okay. You can run for these offices, all of these positions that are out there, all of these jobs, all of these degrees that are out there. It's okay to go get them. So in a nutshell, that's what Project Kings Academy is.
And that's a good thing, man. That's one of the biggest things that I'm an advocate for is manhood. And how that look. It's like when you say we had mentors, but then to me the word mentor only means a mentor. Mm-hmm. Not a mentor, a mentor. Mm-hmm. Can we actually take another one on an actual tour in life as a man, with a man? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, man, for me, that is real key. And we have to begin to start doing those and actually begin to start implementing things that's not street like, but actually allow us to build longevity into our lives, into corporate America, into our economy and things of this nature. So, man, when you said that was real key. One of the things, what are some of the things that y'all actually doing, with these kids and stuff like that to help?
We actually have a project that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're partnering with Read Across America. We're going to go into the middle school classrooms and read to the kids informational texts that are in line with what they're already doing. But the goal is not to just go in and read to them. The goal is to be that black male presence in the classroom. Mm-hmm. As a 7th grade English teacher, I'm in a predominantly Hispanic school district, and it's kids that are in 7th, 8th, 9th grade telling me, I've never had a black male teacher before. Oh, so we just, this most recent project is to help that narrative. Say, hey, these guys are out here doing great things in the community, and they also have the ability to come into the classrooms and reach you hands-on. That's coming up in the next couple of weeks. This past Christmas, we did the crayon and coloring book campaign with the Dallas Children's Hospital. Mm-hmm. Very big project. It was our first time partnering with them. Kudos to them. I'm surprised they, as a small startup nonprofit, they opened their doors to us, and we came in. Unfortunately, due to COVID, we weren't able to actually go into the hospitals, right, but we were able to donate over 500 crayons and coloring books to the Children's Hospital. Aside from that, churches across, I don't even know how the logistics go, so I won't even say the churches' names because we're in certain contracts with them as a 501c3. Right. But we do have partnerships with several churches. Well, I'll say mine. I'm a member of the Potter's House of Dallas. I know I can say mine. We're partnering with other churches in the Dallas area to mentor the young men and to again, it's all about representation, to show them that, hey, it's okay to be cool. It's okay to hang out with your homeboys, but go to church, go to school, do those things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mark is good about showing up with his J's on and his T's on. The kids, we spoke. What was the high school? The middle school.
It was Lyles Middle School.
Lyles Middle School.
We spoke to Lyles, and he came in. They was like, okay, we could be cool, and we could be popular and still make a difference.
Right.
So that's the message we're trying to portray.
Man, we're gonna take a real quick break, and then we'll come right back, and then we're gonna jump right back into this some more, man.
Okay.
I can go far, I can go far, I can go far, holding my name. I can go far. Many suns, many moons, seasons change, gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live, everybody gotta die. Same thing to make you laugh, it's the same thing to make you cry. Spent many years in the field, going to war for my name. Day and nights, got lost in the rain. I can't complain, it wouldn't help anyway. Gotta take the good with the bad, gotta turn the bad into good. Ain't what it seems, but it should. Hard day living, children dying, father leave, mothers crying, family turning on their own. Baby too weak, be strong. Lady too soft, be hard. Then you gotta finish what you start. Say many suns, many skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live. Everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh. It's the same thing to make you cry. Many sun, many moon. Seasons change. Gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live. Everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh. It's the same thing to make you cry. Waiting in the wall, looking for a lead to the other side. Gotta pray hard, When I got God standing on my side, I can go far. Stuck in my thoughts, holding my pride like I got faith. Hating my name, trials and tribulations. Facing time got me pacing heartbreak. Ain't nobody there when I really need them. It's crazy. Used to be the talk, I don't hear a word. It's so quiet. That's so crazy. Many sun, many moon. Seasons change. Gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live. Everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh. It's the same thing to make you cry. Many sun, many moon. Seasons change. Gray skies turn blue. Everybody gotta live. Everybody gotta die. The same thing to make you laugh. It's the same thing to make you cry. Spent many years in the field, going to war for my name. Jenny nights, got lost in the rain. I can't complain, it wouldn't help anyway. Gotta take the good with the bad, gotta turn the bad into good. It ain't what it seems, but it should. All day living, children dying, father leaving, mothers crying. Family turning on their own, baby too weak to be strong, lady too soft to be hard. They gotta finish what they start saying.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over you.
All right, man, we back in Elmari's Mac with Many Moons. We back with Project Kings, Marcus Turner, and Jay, the last name, Lehaman, Jay Lehaman, man. Hey, let's pick up where you had left off at, about with the children with the charity that you was doing.
So basically, this year we have a plethora of things coming up, man. We're actually getting ready to launch our first inaugural charity ball. It's so much in the brainstorm stage. We haven't even set an exact date yet. This is just how fresh and new this idea is. So you all are getting, some first hot off the press information right now, because
Right.
I literally just introduced it to the board probably 4 or 5 days ago. So that's coming up, man. But basically, our message is getting out there and reaching our young men, giving our young men a different depiction of what it means to be young, black, successful, and popular. And one of the key things that I like to touch on as I'm interviewing about Project Kings Academy, a lot of people seem to think that when you run an organization with this type of message, it means, oh, you didn't have a father growing up, or you were neglected as a child. That's not my story. Yeah. I can't shut it enough. My father has been the most influential person in my life, and for that reason, that's why I have so much pride in this organization. That's why I put so much time and effort into making sure that what I received as a young man, I pass that on to other young men in the neighborhood. That's one of the reasons I am still in the classroom to this day. Being a teacher is hard right now. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I hope Dallas ISD isn't watching, but I quit every day. I quit my job every day, but those 2 to 3 young kids that I'm reaching on a daily basis makes it worth going back into the classroom, going out there. So with every event that we're doing, with every project, we're putting our best foot forward. Marcus just came on board, and he actually is spearheading our next big project. I'm gonna let him talk about it with the shoes, donating the shoes to young men in the community.
Yeah, so basically it's just everything that he said, and what I was so honestly glad to even be a part of the organization, because it's just in line with who I was.
Right.
And so here I am. I don't know if that was maybe Thursday night, scrolling down my timeline on Facebook, and I see a lady. She posted a picture of a teenager, and his shoes are literally open. What we used to call talking when we was going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were open. And for me to think about that, I was like, man, he actually had to wear them to school. And so the lady said, okay, well, if you wear a size 11, please let us know, please don't. And here I am,
Right.
sitting at the crib looking at a whole bunch of shoes that I do not wear,
Right.
and I wear a size 11. So immediately I said, okay, I thought of two in my head, bam, bam, in good condition.
Right.
I'm gonna give it to him. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Then I hit my LBs and I, shot it to them and said, hey, let me know this is what I'm doing. And it's been spreading ever since. The message was there, but it's just crazy to see when people bring things to the light, how many people are willing to actually donate. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing next. I would say maybe Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going and I'm taking 2 or 3 pair. But anybody who's connected.
Get that information so anybody who want to be able to do that, you know what I mean, that you can get that information out now. Matter of fact, man, anybody who want to call in, you guys want to talk to these guys, you have questions that you want to ask, man, call in on the show, 469-708-8609. Again, that number is 469-708-8609. Y'all know we live, so if there's anything that y'all want to say, want to know, y'all can call in and talk to these guys, man. So, man, yeah, so it's like, let us know where you're actually going to be at and where you got to do this at. And if you need help, what is it that you all need? And so, man, you can get that help and get that to you.
So what I'm going to say first is Facebook. Facebook is the easiest way outside of giving my number. Facebook, if you just hit me with a DM. Marcus Turner Jr. is my page. Instagram, too. Okay. Tell me you got some shoes. I'll tell you where to pull up and drop the shoes out so we can get it to him. What we're trying to do now, at this point in time, it has caught on. So we're trying to get this young man and his brothers and potentially other kids who are in need of simple shoes, basic shoes that we as adults honestly just collect to be cool and look clean when we come out. And so that's what I want to do. Link up with me, shoot me a DM. I actually reshare it on my story. It's on my page, but I'm gonna reshare it on my story and reshare this clip so we can get this thing popping. And I'm actually thinking about doing this every year because this is a good idea. Going around and seeing what the needs are.
And that's every year good. I think it's something that we can do every month or so. You know what I mean? Like you think about how many people just shoe collectors. That shoes just sit there, but they actually have a good cause and a good reason, a purpose. Someone can really use them. And they can. That makes you feel good. To know that you actually, gave back to somebody who was less fortunate. A lot of times, man, it's like the simple things. They say that it's the small things that can possibly destroy a vine. So it has to be the small things that actually builds the vine just as well. Yeah. So man, I'm with that. What I mean? It's cool hearing things like that, man. Let me ask you a question. Both you guys got your Kappa stuff on. So is the organization all Kappas?
So what do you mean by
like you and your shirt?
Okay.
Like, I'm not for one. Like hey, I went to college. You know what I'm saying? But I went to another college from that college. So I wasn't doing no steppings or nothing like that.
I got you. So let me ask you this: when you say organization, are you referring to Project Kings Academy?
Project Kings, yeah.
Good question. Yeah, okay, so my leadership team is now comprised of 6 young men with myself. Interestingly enough, we're all a part of organizations, but we're all not a part of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
There are 3 members who are members of Kappa Alpha Psi. That's myself, Marcus, and shout out to Rashad Moore. There are 2 members who are members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Jarius McClinton, and there's also Destin Benford. And then we also have a brother of Phi Beta Sigma, LeDroit Atom. He's also a member. So we've all graduated from college and all pursued our Greek aspirations, and now we sit on the board for Project Kings Academy.
Yeah, so y'all hear that, you Greeks? You hear that, you Greeks?
Yeah. Let me give them a yo.
Yo to the good news.
Yeah.
Hey, you hear that, too, Greeks? You got some young guys out here, man, that really doing something, man, and they're actually doing it collectively. So, hey, you Kappas, you Alphas, you Omegas, you women out here, Deltas, AKAs. Hey, man, y'all get with these brothers, man. Y'all continue to do what y'all do. and man, join together and make good things happen. You know what I mean? So man, that's cool to hear that though, man. But I had to shoot that out there. You know,
no
like,
problem.
y'all, hey, you ain't gonna be sitting up here stepping against each other. Y'all gonna step with each other. That's what you gonna do.
With each other. I got you.
Yeah, man. But outside of those things right there, man, you know, like what really outside, you know, I heard you say your dad and stuff like that. You know, you had a father figure and things like that. You know, what was the other things that really sparked your attention to really want to go into the field of nonprofit and outside of teaching and things like that?
You know what, man? That's a very good question. Coming from a personal perspective, man, I tried to run away from this idea. I ran away from who I was in the nonprofit sector because I knew I was different. I knew I was creative. I was in drama in school. Excuse me. And I knew that I wasn't the only somebody holding in the gifts and talents that God had given me. I know there are other young men who are out there because that's not the cool thing to do. You know, we're living in a day and time where social media is the driving force behind who you are supposed to be. Social media is our role model right now. Right. Fortunately enough for me, when I was coming up, I didn't have social media, so I didn't have an outlet, so I hid it. When I first brought the idea of nonprofit, they were like, "For real?" We didn't know because I hid from it. I couldn't post about it. I didn't want to talk about it because I wanted to play basketball because I felt like that's what tall black guys do. That's what you do. You got to find a sport and that's what you do. That's how you make it out. Right. By way of athletics. Right. That wasn't me. I went to Jackson State University, found the theater organization, got my undergraduate degree in theater, got my master's in mass communication, and even earlier she said he's quiet. Nobody would ever know I have a degree in speech because I'm quiet. Right. Until you know me. I actually served in a capacity where I had to do some speaking for our fraternity, and my line brothers was like, "Who is that up there talking?" They were like, "We didn't even know you can do that. You can pronounce your word. Who is this person?" Because I have hid that for so long. I'm at a point in my life now, the Lord was like, "You're gonna have to give me everything I gave to you. You got to give me that back. Right. Everything I put in you, you got to give me that back." So my goal now is to reach out to those young black men who are hiding those gifts and those talents and say, "Man, whatever it is you know how to do, I don't care if you know how to basket weave, bro. I need you to get out here and make this money because it's money to be made." It's not even about the money, but it's about living your best life and being your best self. And once I found that out, once I knew that I didn't have to hide I didn't have to hide my gifts and my talents, and the world gonna have to accept James Earl Lehman Jr. as he is or not at all. It's made a world of difference.
And you know that's real key, and it's real key to even be able to teach. You know about hiding who you are. You know, not really wanting to step out of your own shell and present yourself and the things that not the athletic things or not the cool things, but the things that actually is just something that makes you who you really are. You know, that separates you in a difference. Because if we are athletic, we all over here on the team. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? If we are rapping, then we all over here, you know, in the team. But it's those things that really separate us, you know, and we have to be willing to, be an example of that. You know, I remember, man, like with me, like, I was always drawing. I could draw. But as I was getting older, you know, being in the projects and stuff like that, your shell started getting a little bit, you know, rough. So these type of things began to fade further and further back, you know. And I was going more and more into the streets and things and just doing things in which the peers was doing. Rather than sticking to the things in which I knew I genuinely liked or I found a way out. My outlet when I was at home was to be able to draw or to be able to do poetry. You know, poetry didn't even come back into my life until I was in my 30s.
I love poetry.
Now, and it came in a format of music. You know, but I had a brother that told me, said, "Man, you might as well, you know, man, do this music and stuff, man. You put your money into it anyway." I'm like, "Man, I don't want to do no music. Man, I'm finna make this money." You know, like, and I remember that, you know what I mean? And it took me to where now here it is, I'm finna go and do another sit down. And I went to jail, got out, they took me and brought me right back. He like, "Look, man, you going too many times." paying a lawyer and bond, it get costly. You need to do something. So I wind up going, and eventually taking on the music, and it was funny because of my age and the people on the label they was teenagers, they was young.
Yeah.
So they looking at me like it was funny. But to me it was challenging now.
Yeah.
And I took that challenge on clean until I actually went to prison and sat down. And when I came back out, man, I went like 7 years, as far as in the Dallas scene, and actually did good in music.
Yeah.
When the music switched over and they went digital, then at that time the distributions and all that stuff changed, and they went digital just as well, and you can get your own distribution. I was probably one of the only ones in Dallas that actually knew how to make money using your TuneCore distribution and things like that. I knew major artists who had it and weren't even doing good with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good to be able, man, to have examples around to say, you know what, man, don't hide yourself.
Facts.
Be yourself. If we have more people out here being ourselves, we'll have less people out here living this phony make-believe stuff.
That's a fact.
And trying to live out that make-believe stuff, you know what I mean? And because in the end of the day, if it's made up, you know what I mean, it's going to it's going to take you into a part of life that's not going to be the realism that you want.
Yeah. And another thing, it made me think of this quote, man, that I love saying. It's from Eddie Glide Jr. The world conspires to make you smile, but the question is, will you be complicit? And when I think about that, I think about like when I was coming up, all I could see, even with a father, was, man, I'm a hoop. Or no, I'm okay, hooping over, I'm gonna play baseball. Baseball over, I'm gonna play football. And I had these talents. And it's obvious I had the talents now. Yeah, I ran for office, and now I'm giving ideas to Project King, and I'm sitting here talking to you, and it's fluid. Right. But just imagine if basketball and baseball, everything was a secondary. I'm going to school to get to being a politician, to get to assisting in a nonprofit, to get to talk radio and being able to discuss, the challenges and the things we're trying to, heal in our community. Just imagine how far we would be. But the world will tell you, man, you got hops, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if you, go over there, you may go to the league. Yeah. Oh, you can run. You need to be a receiver.
See, life puts us in situations where it takes us away from being ourselves or being the owner of ourselves. And we have to begin to start to understand that if we don't own it, it's not ours. So that means that you're not yours.
Exactly.
This is where we fall short at, because we give ourselves over to not being ourselves.
Yes.
And then we get percentages of us back rather than the wholeness of it.
Yeah. Hold on. You got to run that one back. Yeah.
But that's really what it is. Because what we are doing and what we've been accustomed to doing, we wonder why it's our neighborhood. We wonder why it's our economy. We wonder why, it's our socialism that seems to be at lack.
Yeah.
That's because you got the lesser percentage.
Yeah. And while you speaking on this, I want to give a shout out to a good brother, a good noob, JB McGinnis.
McGinnis.
He has a program called iGrad, and it teaches financial literacy. It teaches, things that are essential for grown-ups, but we're teaching them to.
As early as like 6th grade, 7th grade. Introducing the conversation really early.
That's very needed, man. When you understand, like, man, in Dallas, you in DISD, right? So, they just recently took the high schools and began to start to rebuild all the fields and all that stuff. After they done had this, state title over at soccer and all that, when they done got a new school, new state-of-the-art facility. So now it's like, let's try to spread some of this stuff out. But now think about this, man, that if we was in better positions in our own communities, if we was back at a point of having ownerships in our own communities, then we have a bigger voice and we have bigger turnarounds faster than we have later. We'll have better curriculums in our schools and for our children, now rather than later, because we have more of a voice, we have more of an input, because we are the owners, of our community. We're the pillars of that community. But now when we're not that, then we're subject to have to take some things.
Yeah.
You know, you see the difference when you go to the outskirt places.
Yeah.
And then we have this big fight. But why are we fighting about what is or what isn't when we should be fighting about why we should be?
Yeah, straight
And
up.
then putting ourselves in the position to be these things. And this is why we need, you know, the organizations to be able to start back stepping up, and even younger organizations, because you are the youth. You know, and then you have quite naturally young listen to young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just being real.
Yeah.
So when we doing these things, man, we have to be able to really take the ground, you know, take the hold back.
Exactly.
And then actually, you know, implement more and more and more, but then do exactly what you guys are doing and actually, man, joining with other people. You know, and doing it, man, in a way that is going to make a big impact. Because when I seen you guys dressed up, first thing I'm like, they brothers, but that's how the fraternities and stuff do it, right?
Yeah.
So now when you had just said, we got 2 more others, and I'm like, wow, that's a stronger link.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so this is what we have to begin to start doing, you know, even in the nonprofit realms, is being true nonprofits that take the time out to join with one another, you know, and help one another, and then go out and be ambassadors with each other.
Fact.
Yeah.
And so and one of the reasons why nonprofits are so important, man, is because when the government has money and it's sitting there and they don't know how to disperse it, they can give it to the nonprofits and allow the nonprofits to go and really meet the need of the community.
Exactly.
Because what I've learned is it's not that we don't want to do. Look at the shoe situation.
Right.
This man this young fella is probably gonna have shoes all around his room.
Right.
But it's the lack of information,
Right.
the lack of resources that are not readily available, where people don't even know. So we got to get to the point, like you saying, nonprofits making our presence known at the school. Hey, this is what we offer.
Right.
We dropping this off. Look at it. If there's a need in this school,
Right.
let us know and we'll get on it.
And let me reiterate something, man. Even with nonprofits and stuff like that, because even I'm going through the same thing just as well. You know, we want to be people who are really self-sufficient, not government aided or government funded. We've already been that.
Yeah.
Look at our communities. Majority of them are government aided and government funded, and then the outcome of that is what?
Not
So why would we go and make a stronger entity and then place it up under government aid and government funding?
Yeah.
Because now that strips you of who you are
Yeah.
and what you are actually trying to do. So that means that we have to really begin to start relying more on each other and working with each other and bonding together.
Yeah.
That we can build the revenue ourselves.
Facts.
That we can begin to, man, put our heads, our minds, and our pockets together ourselves and do these things and make our organizations stronger organizations outside
of the government. And so that's funny you said that, because that is like 100% facts.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why I decided to run.
Right.
Because I knew this is what my dad taught me. And he from South Dallas, from Dixon.
Okay.
You know, Prince Hall, the whole, and then he gave me the exact location, right?
Right.
And so he told me, when I was growing up, even my mother told me, we have to have people on the inside, right? Now, if I'm the representative of the government, and I just make a phone call and we can get you the money, y'all really not under the umbrella of relying on the government. Y'all just working in collaboration with me. But as long as we have people in these positions, no shade, that I'm not from here, so I don't
have no
understand.
connection to
I will
this
show up
neighborhood.
Right.
when it's election time. I'll come and talk to you, Train. What's
Exactly.
going on,
Yeah.
man? Vote for me. And this is what I'm gonna do. But when you have people who care about the community, like the nonprofits, and y'all have revenue, and y'all have a system, a government, an entity backing y'all, that's powerful. We will see real change in the next 10 years.
And
Yeah.
because of that direct connection, that's why this recent project with the shoes is so important, because politicians may never know this young man's mom who made that post. But Project King's Academy, we know him.
Right.
We know how to go and directly affect him, his brother. We're reaching out to some of his classmates. We're reaching the problem head on. That's where, like you said, no shade. That's where sometimes government officials drop the ball. They come
Right.
out when it's time to vote. When
Right.
they want your vote, but they don't know what we're really dealing with in these
Right.
communities, in these low, these areas,
Exactly.
these impoverished areas, right?
Exactly.
So, as Project Kings Academy, one of our goals is to bridge that gap. We got to, in order to solve the problem, you got to go out there and get in. You got to get your hands
Dirty, yeah.
You got to get your hands dirty.
Yeah. Man, take the time. We're gonna go to another break right quick, and then we're gonna come right back, man. We're gonna get back in this.
Right.
319. It ain't nothing long let it go.
Dear mama, this Rado talking to you.
Yeah. It ain't nothing like my mama's love.
It'll never be the same, baby.
No.
You left us out here, mama. We all hurting.
It ain't nothing like it. It ain't nothing like my mama's love. It really hurt me you're not here with us. I pray to God that I'm not asking for too much. I really need my mama love. It ain't nothing like my mama's love. It really hurt me you're not here with us. I pray to God that I'm not asking for too much. I really need my mama love.
Talk to a Rado. How you gon' exit out the door and didn't even let us know? You ripped our heart apart with this one, we can't let you go. You left your kids by themselves, we can't do nothing but grow. Just remember one thing, your life ain't never over. August the 1st, 1966, a star was born. You shocked the world with your exit, I can't believe you, mama. How we supposed to live without you? You didn't teach us that. Your 4 girls taking it hard, we really need you back. Gus trying to stay strong, Lee brother holding on. And just be calling on the phone saying mama wrong. I did ain't saying much, but I see it in his face. I pray to God that he don't go and catch another case. And Gum steady posting pictures thinking about you. And Fred stepping up to the plate, mama, I know you proud. Keosha playing your part, she the backbone now. And Big Man in a dark place, but he'll come around. We just sent for Pop and Fred had to fly him down. You know Sakaya with Keosha, we can't let you down.
It ain't nothing like my mama's love. It really hurt me you're not here with us. I pray to God that I'm not asking for too much. I really need my mama love. It ain't nothing like my mama's love. It really hurt me you're not here with us. I pray to God that I'm not asking for too much. I really need my mama love. I wanna thank you for all that you done for me. I wanna thank you for teaching me to be a king. I wanna thank you for all that you done for me.
When you light up, yeah, lights all over.
We back, man, on the Transition Talk Show with Marcus Turner and Jay Lehaman. Lehaman.
It's just a lot of letters, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, when you see it on the billboard, just like I know that guy right there. Don't even try to pronounce it. Don't even try to pronounce it. Just say I know that guy right there.
And it's so crazy because like I had 2 weeks and I've been looking over this, you know what I mean, and everything. And I'm like, what is his name? Lehaman? Like,
Lehaman.
you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, remember you correct me, like, man, change that. The last one is I was like, okay.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's what happened to me. I just went ahead and asked him, bro, how you say your last name? You know what I mean?
But
He
see, like
told me.
on Instagram, it just say Jay. So
Jay,
for me, it's
yeah.
like easy to say Jay. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I think it's James though.
James,
but
it
then,
is.
You see what I'm saying? So it's too many names. But we gonna rock with the short version.
Call me
We gonna
Jay,
keep
man.
it Jay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. We had got off the air, you guys, when we was on the break. We got to talking about some stuff, so that's really what was going on. But man, again, y'all can call in 469-708-8609, and you guys can talk to these these brothers and ask them some questions. We had one little woman who was she made a comment and asked how does she go about starting a nonprofit. You know, I told her that I'd go ahead and I'd get with her tomorrow, you know what I mean, or things like that. But if y'all want to speak on that, you know what I mean, y'all can, you know what I mean, especially because you said you just got your 5013 this year?
This past August.
Yeah, this past
Last year.
August.
So I will say, some of the best advice I received about starting my nonprofit was to go do the work first. All of the paperwork and getting approved and the name, all of the logistics, that's gonna come. You can sit down and you can Google the application and submit it. My mentor said, James, if this is what you really want to do, you're already doing the work, but make sure you ground yourself in this mission. Make sure you're really doing the work. So, and I've been passing that on. Whatever it is, whomever made that comment, whoever asked that question, I would say, go ahead and do the work. You don't have to have an official 501c3 to make a difference.
Exactly.
You don't have to have a name to make a donation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be grounded in your work. Be grounded in your mission, and then move from there. And as I said, as far as the application and everything is concerned, Google will tell you everything you want to know. It's really easier than the mind would make you believe. It's just the point of doing it.
And one of the main things is not feeling like you need something to do what it is you want to do.
Exactly.
You know, that's the main thing. Is like, if it's on your heart to just go out and do something, go out and do it. You know, it's just like holidays. I'm not a person who really big about holidays, but it's just something about it, because like Thanksgiving, Christmas, they come in cooler parts of the year, right?
Yeah.
Then I had this thing that I had found out from a friend years ago. She was like, let's go out and just, get some coffee. And we went to McDonald's, and just got about like 5 coffees, and then just pull up on a homeless person. Hey, you want some coffee? You know what I mean? You want some sugar, cream? And to be able to just see those people's expression, and with $5, it was $25, man. You know, altogether it was less than $35. But for someone else, it was bigger for them than it could have been. You know what I'm saying, for us. But it became a habit for me to just do that. And the more when you begin to start doing things like that, it begin to lead the way for you. It show you now where you're needed. It show you where you can implement more of yourself. It leads you. It's just like, I tell people, man, manifesting is every day. You do it every day. You open your mouth every day. Power come out every day.
Yeah.
You change every day.
Yeah.
Manifesting is every day.
Yeah.
It's just how we want to be able to see things from the broader aspect of it.
Yeah.
Rather than just taking it from what's right in front of you right now.
Yeah.
So I always just say, man, whatever it is, just do it. And allow it just to build from there. You know what I mean?
Your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, if the mission and the message is truly genuine within you, all you got to do is do it. All you got to do is, if you write the vision to make it plain, put the work in, the other stuff will come. Like I said, Project Kings Academy is 5 years old. We haven't been 501c3 a whole year yet. That says a lot.
Right.
We've been doing this for 5 years. And again, going back to that earlier conversation, a part of the reason is because I was running from it. I was looking for every reason not to do it. Scared of it, scared of being too great, afraid of failing. I had to tell myself, just do the work. If that's your mission, go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Man, how can people find you guys, Project Kings, and outside of you guys being in the community, how can they actually look to find you?
Primarily, our website is www.projectkingsacademy.com, projectkingsacademy.com, all written as one word. We're on all social media platforms. On Facebook, we have Project Kings Academy. On Instagram, it's at Project Kings Academy. And I even have a Twitter, JRL Speaks, but it's a direct reflection of Project Kings Academy.
Exactly.
So on
And
all
tell us
social media.
about the name, man.
Okay, so Project Kings Academy, man, funny story, and I can kind of tell it how I want to tell it now, because I'm a nuke now. I can tell it how I want to tell it. I didn't. My goal at the time, 5 years ago, I like bow ties. I'm real big on bow ties. I didn't want to I wasn't in the organization at the time, and if you know anything about KSI, that's kind of representative of, even though all organizations, let me put that out there, all fraternities wear bow ties, but Kappas are infamous for wearing bow ties. So I didn't want it to look like, oh well, James just wearing all these bow ties because he want to be a Kappa, or James want to be a new James wearing these bow ties. So I told myself, I wasn't striving to be in an organization. I was striving to be a king. I wanted to carry myself as if I were royalty, because in my mind, that's what it was. We used to say we the boss. The boss was a big word at once upon a time. Now, doing it for the culture, king, being the king looking for his queen, that was a big thing at the time. So I said, you know what, I like that. I like that king mentality, you know, and when I thought about my mission, that's what I wanted to instill in these young men. Man, you got to have a king mentality. You got to be a leader. You need to be the head of the tail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be leading in every field of human endeavor. You know, I'm running out in a minute. So that's where that whole kingdom, that king aspect came from. And of course, being an educator, the whole academy, being a teacher, I knew that I wanted to build a social curriculum. I wanted to build, we build workshops and build platforms to where these young men, you're learning how to do this. We're nurturing you into this kingdom mentality. So Project Kings Academy, man, it kind of came up, and it had a nice little ring to it. And by the time I worked with the graphic design artist to get the website up, it was up. And once I signed the paper on that 501c3, that's the name. Now we ain't going nowhere. So, so that's the name.
Right. Man. No, it really was. The name itself was catchy, you know. And then when I began to start to get out, you know, the information and the intel in from it, I was like, well, look at these guys, man. They spiffy, you know, they in the suits and everything like that. So then I got to do my research, and I'm like, okay, I see what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I wanted to know for myself, you know, like the name itself, you know, because Kings is something that, as men, you know, it's a good title, but it's a title.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until it's actually a mindset. So that's the project to me. You know what I'm saying? Is being able to, man, actually transform the mindsets,
Man.
into a king, into
That's what I'm
kingship.
talking about.
You know, and it's like when we're able to do that amongst one another, and then we stand up with each other like that. To me, now we have royalty.
Yeah.
What is royalty if only one? You will get robbed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But when all are now in royalty, it's like on my arm, I have 24 gold with a crown on it. It's for me to be able to understand, for me to be within 24 hours of myself every day, all day.
Yeah.
And at the highest, you know what I mean, peak of myself at all day. You know, so when you begin to change these mindsets and you begin to live that out, it begins to come out.
Yeah.
Just the same, you know, and then those who you come in contact with or come encounter with, you know, you leave a different something behind, you know, like a person can ask you what you do. It ain't the deal. It's after we get through talking. It's after we get through conversing. It's after we get through coming in acquaintance with each other, and then the separation, then you can say that guy right there, man.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a bigger difference.
And that mindset is important, because I tell you, we 2 years ago, man, people, I keep this on the low, hiding. Here we go again, right? But I've been saying it a lot intentionally lately. I didn't have a degree 2 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any certificates 2 years ago. I was at a job that I say was the most entry-level job at Dallas County. But I told myself one day, I was talking to my elected official, and she said, well, you need an education. I was like, I need an education. I was like, I don't want to go back to school. But then I sat down. I said, okay, I'll write a 5-year plan. My pops preached this. Write it down. Write it on tablets, you know. So I wrote it down, 5-year plan. So what I did that summer, bam, went to Harvard to get a certificate. 2 of them, Justice and Citizens and Politics. I said, okay, I'm just warming up. I went to Catalyst, being a successful leader. I started taking 15 hours a semester and working a full-time job. Bam, in a year and a half, I graduated with a bachelor's in business administration from Jarvis Christian College, now Jarvis Christian University.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Let me keep going. This mindset of mine, I just want to keep this plan going. Let me enroll in grad school.
Right.
Okay, this job is not satisfying me. That I see policies I can change with being a business administration major, a business management major. Man, let me go for public leadership, and I tell you what, not only that, let me run for office to see if I can make a real change. And here I am now on the 3rd year of my 5-year plan, doing everything that at first was just a mindset switch.
Right.
It went from I don't want to I can.
Right.
And since I can, I will.
Right.
And since I will, I'm here now.
Man, you know, that's like, I just told my brother yesterday, I live by this. Give yourself no reasons why not.
Yeah.
Only reasons why to. Because if you give yourself a reason why you can't, you won't.
Yeah.
But if you give yourself every reason why you should, then you will.
Yes.
You know, so don't give yourself no reason why not. Always reason why too.
Facts.
Both of you all said mentality, and both of you all gave scenarios that speak directly to how, as a young black male or a male, period, how you see yourself. And somebody said a quote, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Regardless of how, whatever you think, you're right. That's why we have a whole workshop built on the auspices of confidence, self-esteem, and that's why the shoe project is so important. How you see yourself, how you feel, that's a direct reflection of how you're going to perform today. And it starts with how you see it. And if we teach our young men to focus more on how you feel about yourself and not what your friends think about you or peers think about you or what society says about you, I think that's taking it a step further beyond the conversation that we're having right now. That's putting some action behind the conversation, because these guys, they don't think they can. Yeah. And when you don't think you can, you don't try. The fact that you told yourself, hey, I can do this, and 3 years later, you did it. Yeah. That's the type of example we need these young men to hear.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And be able to put in front of them. Yep. Before we get ready to tune off, man, again, y'all check it out. Marcus Turner, man, he's actually doing a shoe drive right now. Like right now, in this moment, in this space, and in this time. Any of my friends, associates, or anything like that, you can hit me in my inbox. You can call me. If you have a pair of shoes, you have multiple pair of shoes, or anything like that, man, give me a call so, you know, I can get with him, or you guys can get with him. Like he said, he's on Facebook at Marcus Turner Jr. He's also on Instagram at Marcus Turner Jr. So, man, be able to let's help this guy, man, and let's help this young man and his family, and let's get them these shoes and things like that. Before we leave, we're gonna go to another video, then we're gonna turn around and be right back, and we'll close it out, man. I appreciate you guys, man. This been real fun.
Man, for real. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. We're gonna go to a quick video right quick.
Would you look at this? It's a half-pint film, bitch.
Yeah. Hold up, man. Get out my way, man. Yeah, might pull up into this. Come on. Hey, 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 what you do, self? Call me a vibe. Call me a vibe. This the part where I go in. Pocket stick like Samoan. Get more head than a sewing. Money lost start flowing. Bakery I bought dough in. New whip I won't roll in. So much drip you got to roll in. Come on. Get out the way before I splash it. Your bitches she look, I'ma smash it. I hop out the coupe like a pastor. I'm killing these niggas disaster. And I got a plug in Nebraska. I'm running this shit, you got asthma. My nigga, my wrist on Alaska. In the cup like a scab. I might pull it like a slab. I might bring it back to dab. Ain't without on the beat. I gotta get the big bag, trick or treat. Niggas in the beat, I'm shooting pistol beat. Niggas want smoke, call me Swiss and sweet. I call me a vine. I call me a vine. I call me a vine. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. Now I'm alive. I call me a vine. I call me a vine. I call me a vine.
dream. You know what I mean? And being able to not have to worry about being made fun of or anything like that, man. You know, and when you take the time out and show, hey, you deserve help, you deserve help, you deserve help. You teach others, man, not to make mockery or make fun of, but man, to extend and lend a hand. You know what I mean?
To ask for help too.
It's okay to ask for that help.
Ooh, that's big.
Hey, man, we back. We're closing up. Appreciate you guys for all tuning in on the Transition Talk Show. We'll be back next week, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you,
Keep
man.
me posted. You know, like I say, I'm gonna do all I can just as well, man. And we're gonna keep the links tied. You know, pushing forward, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Till next Sunday. See you guys next time.
Don't let the world shut you down, baby. Take your time, you'll be alright. You're the light. Everybody lights up. Everybody lights up. And turn your light on. Everybody lights up. Just look within yourself and trust. Everybody lights up. Everybody lights up. And turn your light on. 'Cause everybody lights up. Everybody lights up. When your world's looking blue, tell you what you do. Turn your light on. Hey, yeah. When it's dark and alone, things are looking wrong. Turn your light on, baby.
And when they seen that turn it back, nobody got your slack. Turn your light on. When you're feeling kinda low, you're looking for that glow. Hey, turn your light on.
When the devil's chasing you, tell you what you do. Turn your light on. Hey, yeah. When the world's in doubt and they shut you down, turn your light on, baby.
And when you're looking for a hand, nobody to the lend. Turn your light on. When you're looking for a hand, nobody to the lend.